Hello everybody, I am Rizzo Gaming, and this is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. So, a couple things that I want to note at the very beginning of this, which is pretty much my first time recording myself playing a video game ever. So on that note, I want to say right out the get-go that I am not a professional streamer, and I am certainly not a professional or even a very good Shadow of Mordor player. The reason I decided to start recording myself playing games, and this game specifically, is that I'm in a long-distance relationship. And me and my girlfriend, one of the things that we started doing besides doing a lot of phone calls was we started playing some video games together over Discord and Skype and Tabletop Simulator and that sort of thing. And eventually we started to get very busy, and so finding times when we were able to do that became really difficult. So I was playing this game, and while I was playing it, I just had this random thought, what if I just recorded myself playing this single-player game, and I just kind of talked through my thought process and continued playing this game, and I recorded myself and uploaded it to YouTube, and then that way she could watch me play, and even though she wouldn't be there and I wouldn't be able to hear her input, she could at least kind of feel like she was playing a game with me on her own time and on her own schedule, because we're both very busy people and have very busy schedules. So that was the idea behind recording myself playing this game. And so the point of this recording is that I want to say right out the bat, I don't have a lot of great equipment. I went out when I had this idea and bought a very cheap mic. I got recording software that is basically free and does not allow for any post-recording editing or anything like that. I haven't done very much to kind of refine the way that I'm going to edit these videos and upload them. Mostly it's just I'm gonna stream myself live playing this game, record it and upload it to YouTube so that she can watch it sometime while she's sitting down and eating dinner or something like that. I'll be playing this game mostly blind. I have played this game for maybe like 2 or so hours before I kind of had an idea that I was going to record it. So I'm about 2 hours deep in this game, 3 hours deep in this game. And also the style in which I'll be playing this game, I'm going to attempt to just kind of ramble over my thoughts as I'm playing this game, which is something that will be very new to me. I'm not normally a very talkative person. I'm not normally a very loud person, and I spend a lot of my time just being quiet by myself, and so talking while I play a video game and having my thoughts played out loud will be very different from me. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. One of the reasons why I really liked the idea of playing Shadow of Mordor for sort of my first playthrough game is, well, you play as sort of a hero from Middle-earth, and so you can just run into a group of orcs, pull out your sword, and you have a pretty good chance that you'll be able to win the fight and survive just because you're so amazing at fighting. But there's also elements of this game where you can think through it and use different skills and different strategies and kind of think through how you're going to play a fight before you actually jump in and start hitting things with your sword. And so I'm going to try and take advantage of that part of the game, the aspect where you can kind of plan out what you're going to do. I'll hopefully talk through that process in my mind out loud, and then we'll see if the execution actually follows through with what I expect it to be, and it might or it might not, and I think that'll be kind of fun to watch. Other things that are really good about this game is that it's very pretty. Despite being, called Shadow of Mordor, and so it's kind of the least pretty place in Middle-earth, but still you see mountains in the distance, and mountains are a thing that can be pretty, I guess. And then also it has a lot of cinematics, a lot of story-like elements. It seems like the story will be pretty good, but again, I've only played a couple hours. We'll see whether it's actually good or not. But also it should just be a fun thing to sort of watch while you're playing, or watch while I'm playing. So all that is out of the way, and let's just go ahead and get right into this. I'll note that while the cinematics are playing, I have no intention of talking over the cinematics, because that annoys me when people do that. So if we actually go back and look at these, I have played 10% of this game, about 2.5 hours worth of this game. And so we'll be starting a new game, and I will see you after the cinematics.
In the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. It was here, in the slopes of Mount Doom, that the Dark Lord Sauron was defeated by the last alliance of men and elves. It is here that for 2,500 years the Rangers of Gondor stood watch, guarding against a nameless threat they had all forgotten. And while the strength of Gondor faded, the power and malice of Sauron grew in darkness. He has returned to Mordor. Shadow and flame have fallen on the Black Gate, and no mortal man can stand in its path.
That is a perfect swing for killing chicken. Wouldn't want to hurt you. It'll take a lot more than that. Dear Hyle, the mighty chicken killer. Come on. Come on. Show your father what you have, huh?
So, this is the tutorial, where you're fighting against Deerhile. In case you're wondering about the mechanics, you see a little symbol over his head with a right click. And then in order to block, you need to right click in the appropriate time.
Perhaps you should not forget to hit.
Stay alert, dear Hyle. Your enemy will not always be as he appears.
And because this is my son and I love him, and I want to teach him how to fight, I'm going to hit him with my sword. So, here we go.
Easy, son. You're not a soldier yet.
I'll have your gun.
Left shift and tap for a ground
My
execution.
blade shall rest in your throat.
Dear Hyle, remember your training!
Scream for me.
Hold on one second. I think the audio settings. There's just no music that's being played over the actual gameplay. It seems a little bit strange to me. Yeah, this is better, more ambient.
Father, they charge faster than I can strike.
Stand fast, dear Hyle!
So this is just the kind of easy mode tutorial where people are coming at you slowly enough that you can kind of execute them one at a time. And you have DRL helping you with everything. This guy.
These orcs are much stronger than any we've ever seen.
They're not orcs, they're lyrics. Far worse. There's too many. Go find your mother. Go find your mother. be right behind you. Go. Am I dead?
You are banished from death.
I should say, and this is something that games have been doing more, I really appreciate how they kind of tie in the cinematics with a little bit of gameplay while they're introducing you to the various concepts. I think that's something that games have been doing more and more recently, and it makes the introduction process a little bit less boring. So right now I'm going to hold left shift to sneak, and I'm going to sneak in and kiss my wife.
Happy anniversary, Mother.
Alien, this is beautiful. Where did you find it?
I still have a few friends left in Gondor.
Did you talk to my father?
Yes, I did. And nothing has changed. He's still very stubborn.
I say we go anyway.
Dear, I will not come willingly.
There must be a better life than this.
Not now. But soon.
I'm just so tired of hiding here, Talion.
We must hide now, or we are both dead. Come on.
We should have left when we had the chance.
Don't move. I'll clear a path. I'm outnumbered. Stealth is my only advantage.
So here, you can sneak up on someone holding left shift, and then when you see this sort of red outline, you can click for a stealth kill. Which is nice because it's pretty much the only way to one-hit someone in this game. Should note that this game pulled off the cliche where the wife really wanted to leave, and so the husband said that they would leave soon. So, pretty much guaranteed that in the next scene, the wife is gonna die, because that's how these go.
Put the sword down, Ranger. The Black Hand wants him alive. Take her! See for yourself. Now, do you believe me, Ranger?
What has happened to me?
You are banished from death. Cast adrift between the worlds of light and dark. Curse binds us together within the walls of Mordor.
If what you say is true, then how do we break this curse?
We find the one who cast it on us. The Black Hand of Sauron.
This looks familiar.
Talion killed a nobleman, Yorith. His life now belongs to Gondor.
Father, if you turn my love in, I shall swear I killed Lord Asgol when he attacked me.
So during the cutscenes, or whenever it's loading in between scenes, you can kind of hear a little bit of the backstory that went on between Talion and Yorith. Right now, if I hit left control, you unlock a forge tower, which gets you some progress in the game, but also unlocks sections of the map, such as where to collect Mirian and new missions and collectible locations, etc., etc. We'll get to that when we get to that, and we'll talk more about that when we get to that stage of the game. Also, you can hold spacebar. Well, I'm being locked so that I can't move left and right, so the game really wants me to jump off of this edge, so I guess I'll do that. And end up right here.
So, we missed one of you at Narcos, eh? An easy mistake to fix.
So, you can enter into range mode, charge up a shot, let him have it.
You will suffer for what you've done!
Ooh, missed that one.
The black! Don't let him grab ya!
And the mission you can see at the top left there, I wasn't talking about it, but it was to eliminate these Uruks. So, once you get 4 out of 4 of them.
Go back to him.
So, grab is more than just a combat function. You can grab someone and then hit the spacebar. Punch it again.
He is a fiend. Made of thin air. What more? A slave I had. Swears he fought him. I sold him for a keg of grog to Gimu the slaver.
So these are the captains of Sauron's army. They appear as shadows because you don't yet know their identity. and press spacebar to continue. By interrogating enemies, so grabbing them and then spamming spacebar like we just did, you can uncover valuable information about these captains. Press spacebar again to learn the identity of Gimoob the Slaver. So we just grabbed that orc, we interrogated him with our Wraith powers, and now we know something about Gimoob the Slayer. We've learned his identity. This will help us hunt him down. His title, the Slaver, gives us a clue about his role in the Uruk society. You've also learned about his power rating, found right here. This gives you an indication of how difficult he will be to defeat, and then it also determines your reward for defeating him. Rewards include rune upgrades to upgrade your weapons, and increasing your own power to unlock new ability tiers, such as, so basically, the more power you get, the more you level up. The map and objectives show you where this captain can be located. Again, because we interrogated someone and learned information about Gimoob, we now know where his either rough or exact location is, depending on whether he's part of the main mission or not. Punch spacebar and we have officially marked him as our new target.
That is where we have to go.
If one can trust an orc.
Trust has nothing to do with it. His thoughts cannot lie.
So, gold icons will tell us where we go to get to the story. Red icons are a really good way to get power, which is used to unlock level ups. And white icons are side missions that give us Mirian, which is used to purchase upgrades for our weapons. So, a couple different ways that you can level up and then move through the story. And we've got two missions. One is the Slaver, so we can save the humans that are trapped within Mordor, and the other one is to learn about this Uruk society and take down Sauron's army from within, using the spirit of Mordor. Game just told us about the Slaver, so I think that's the one that we're going to go towards. The game is telling us that if we hit V,
Nothing makes sense.
we can enter Wraith Mode, which lets us be able to identify things more easily. So you can see there are a bunch of people over there and people there that are closer. But then there's also...
His mind may provide answers.
Sorry, I was talking over them. But there's also something on the map. If we hit the M button, you can see we're located right here, but there's something called Etheildin that's close by, and we get a reward for finding it. And the game just told us that we can only find Etheildin when we are in Wraith Mode. And then, given the very conspicuous location of this bridge and where it spawned us, it seems pretty clear that it'll be around right here.
Nani here, Gelar Mordor.
So we found one of the 32 different Etheildins. I have no idea what these do, other than give you an immediate reward. One of the goals is going to be to try and unlock all of those.
These are Etheildin, Starmoon, forged of Mithril. They hold memories of the ancient past. The knowledge within may be fair or ill.
If I was to talk in your fancy with his fight.
And I just said, right here we have the Slaver, and over here we have the Spirit of Mordor. I think we're going to go towards the Slaver right now.
I'll give it some fancy right back, you say.
Since this is relatively open world, it takes a while to travel there. One of the benefits of having all those towers leveled up, which we can see if we enter the Wraith Mode, is they give you an option for fast traveling, which helps eliminate some of the more tedious bits of travel.
Too many who are talking about his sorcery for it to just be a rumor.
There's a little bit of lag right there. It's a little bit bizarre. something else is, with the bow and arrow you have a limited amount of arrow shots, so if you go and grab someone, instead of interrogating them, you drain them, you get those arrows back. So that's useful over there. Something I want to do, just because I think it'll be a little bit interesting.
Probably just getting reassigned to the keep.
I might sneak up on this guy. Oh, and we've got some ability points that we can talk about. Let's go ahead and kill all the Urks that are over here.
Many thanks, Ranger.
No one to help you!
Thank you.
You won't trick me!
Oh, I couldn't kill him because he's Ogbor, the Eye Gouger.
Doom! I'll hunt you down!
Alright, so something real quick. I guess I can talk about this while I'm fighting this guy. Is you'll find orcs at various levels. Some of them are these guys that are tougher, and so they take multiple hits in order to take down, and they have a sort of identity. And I'm actually not going to kill him. Immediately. I actually think I'm going to let him somewhat suboptimally. I'm going to let him kill me, and then we'll see something that's kind of cool that happens. So, if I were to play incredibly poorly, one thing that happens is when he's about to kill me, the video game's telling us about this tutorial thing, where even after you've died, you can move your cursor over here and then hit the corresponding button, and you stay alive a little bit longer. Oh, good lord. And this is another one. Hoshu Deathblade. So now I'm fighting against two of these guys at once, and I have no health. But let's go ahead and let the first guy kill me. So. Okay, so eventually you run out of last stand abilities. Or maybe you don't. Yeah. So this guy just took me out.
There's no escape! Not from me.
And this is one of the cool things about this game. This guy originally had a power level of 5, but now he has a power level of 6. And so what happened is these two guys that I just fought, they both leveled up and got stronger. This guy that killed me is now a revenge target because he was the guy who last killed me, and so he gets a number of bonus perks that make him stronger. So one of the cool things about this game is once you die, once you die, you can play the game as if you hadn't died at all and reset, but instead of the world pretending like you never died at all, it remembers that you died, it remembers who killed you, it gives them level ups, and so if I went to fight this guy again, now that he's stronger, if he killed me again, he would get even stronger, and it would become harder and harder and harder to keep taking this guy out. And eventually I think he would attain this status where he becomes a nemesis and is known for just being able to take me out. And so for me to kill him specifically becomes incredibly difficult because I keep dying to the same person over and over again, which I think that's a pretty neat part of the system. Gimbu is still the guy that I'm supposed to be tracking down, so I think I'm going to if I haven't already, mark him as my target. Yeah, he is marked as my target. And I'll return to the game and go and kill Gimbu like I was supposed to.
What are these towers of silver?
They are lights to guide us in the land of shadow, where all other lights may fail.
So,
Pale reflections of the light of the two trees, and memories of a lost kingdom.
the game also gave me some XP for dying, because it's nice, it leveled up the bad guy, but it also levels me up a little bit, and a little bit of power. I leveled up, so let's talk about abilities. So, these are all of the abilities that I can unlock with my ability point. Once I get enough power, 150 more power, I will unlock this set of abilities, which are stronger, and some of them are chains, such as in order to get this one, I have to have unlocked this one. You can see that because of the line that goes between the two, etc., etc. So you can kind of chain downwards like this. Let's look at these abilities that I have now. This one, Execution, is every time you successfully hit someone, you get a combo, and as long as you don't get hit, and you're hitting people within a given time frame, you build up a combo streak, and once you get a combo streak of 8, you push the F button, and you just one-hit KO someone, or do a large amount of damage if they're one of those special orcs. This one, when you counter someone within the correct time window, you knock them down, which is useful because when they're down, you can do the finishing blow on them, which is the shift click thing. Strike from above lets you do a sneak attack, but from above. If you don't have this, if you sneak attack someone but you're above them, then you just knock them down. So this is a very nice ability to have. This is nice because when you're moving and you do a lot of walking, you can spam the spacebar button and you get a speed boost. This is really good for getting places quickly, but also for running away from people. This lets you shoot fires with your bow, and your arrows essentially become an AoE attack that I think insta-kills everyone around it or does large amounts of damage. This one is something we haven't talked about. It's, of all these abilities, the ones that we actually start with, and you hit E, and what that does is it marks the target, and then you can do a flurry of different, slightly weaker, I think, attacks. This is really good for building up combo counters for the Execution. And then this, we haven't seen any Karagors, but if we do, we get the ability to ride them, and cause damage to them, and fight with them, and stuff like that. This, the ability to kill somebody instantly once you build up a large enough combo streak, is one of the few things in the game. You don't interrupt it, unlike the thing where you've knocked someone down and then you have to go through an execution animation, and so if somebody attacks you during that animation, you don't finish the execution. This does not have issues with that, and it combos well with this. This, I think, is where we're going to be getting our first ability. I have strong feelings about how good this ability is. It is the main source of me killing people. Now that we have actually unlocked that, and we are planning on not intentionally dying, so to show off the Nemesis System, I think we'll just go over here and do the main storyline. I should also say the stealth system in this game is incredibly generous. I think that was an intentional game design, because whenever you build stealth into a game, if it's very specific and picky about it, it can become very frustrating to deal with. I think this game, it just decided to be incredibly forgiving so that you didn't have to deal with it. This guy I actually want to interrogate. So now that he's by himself, I can use this to gain intel, say, on the guy that just leveled up and killed me. Oh, never mind. I can gain intel about any of the unrevealed captains. So I did that, and I now know who Ronk the Duelist is, and I can go and find him, and he's over in this region over there. I forget. If I want to gain intel about a certain person, I need to find a very specific orc, or I need to find a document that'll let me do that. That was the Wraith Punch, spamming click button, and then hitting the finisher F button after I hit 8 consecutive times. So in this area I have that. I think I will just go and finish this. Should note that I'm hoping to make these episodes maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes long. This first one will be a little bit longer because they have a bunch of cutscenes and we're explaining a lot of mechanics. The slaver. An Uruk slaver holds a captive with information on the Black Captains. Hunt down the slaver, rescue the captive, and find out what he knows. Accept. So this pulls you into an instance.
Well, this doesn't bode well.
Don't you see? The prisoner created a distraction. Why use your human side to track the Uruk? I see more than any mortal. Slay the Orc captain, cut off the head of the snake, and the body will wither.
That face.
Archers. I must take out the eyes of the camp.
Alright, so whenever you enter into one of those mission sites, it pulls you into an instance out of the open world and into kind of a predefined level scheme. In this one, we're supposed to kill off Gimbu, who we've just found using our Wraith sight, and hitting the X button. And we can do that again to see that beautiful face. But we've also been given a bonus objective, which is to kill 4 archers before we take out Gimbu. So, there are archers around the edges. Let's go ahead and try and fulfill that bonus objective. Game's lagging a little bit, which is a little bit frustrating. Hold on one second. Alright, I was just going around closing some things on my desktop in an attempt to help this. You'll also notice there's elf shot around. I just use an arrow, so I have 3 little blue pips in the lower left of the screen. If I hold down left control, you'll see the 3 blue pips with the blue 3 in the lower left underneath the minimap go up to 4. Because now I have 4 shots left.
He was a useless schrock. Clearly, or he wouldn't have been torn apart by a cannonball.
This replaced.
Looks like there's someone there that'll see me if I go up to him, so I'm just gonna headshot him to kind of get rid of him. The idea behind that is it makes it a lot easier to stealth kill these guys. And again, I want to do that because once I raise the alarm, it's a lot more difficult to kill the archers. So I did that, I got a bunch of XP. Now I'm able to get the jump onto Gimgu, or whatever his name is. Let's kill some of the mobs first. I'm just gonna jump down, punch him, and then attempt to 1v1 him before his buddies can show up.
Ranger! Another schrock that needs to be put back in his place. Not today! That won't work!
Now that we killed that guy, a bunch of people should probably just run away. Oh, those are humans. Whoops. Anytime you kill a boss, and you'll get a little bit of a rune like this. Because we killed a story boss, we get a special rune. Oh, here we go. Dead captains drop runes that provide bonuses for your weapons. Press enter to view your weapons. You can slot runes into your weapons. Select your weapons with 1 or 2 and press spacebar, to view the rune. Equip the runes into the available rune slot. You can upgrade the weapons to have additional rune slots and build combos with these things, etc., etc. So, right now we're looking at the dagger runes. With this, stealth kills and ground executions deal extra damage to captains and war chiefs, so they won't kill them outright, but they'll do bonus damage. You can recover all focus and all health for killing a captain or a war chief. So, if in the situation that we had previously, when there were 2 of them and I was low on health, if I'd killed one of them, I would have gotten all my focus and all my health back, which would have been useful. And then this one makes me immune to poison. Where poison is a dot, and I think it removes some of the overlays. I like this one. It'll allow us to do extra bonus damage to a boss if we can get that to work, and bosses is the main way that you will die, I think, in this game. So we did that one. But we also have a bow, a dagger, and a sword. So in our sword, 20% chance for critical hits with the sword, that the critical hits will ignite the enemy. Finishers do extra damage against captains. You get a legendary weapon power, which I'm not sure what that does. You have a 50% chance to reduce melee damage received by 50%. So this would essentially, if it procced every single time, double your health. 50% of 50% is you essentially have 25% more health, and you can't stack it. This never surrender as you gain an additional last chance to return into the fray in combat against Urix. So you get an additional last chance. You're harder to kill. I think this one, again, having the ability to do extra damage to captains, who are the ones that kind of give us, or give me, a lot of trouble, is a nice starter rune. And then for our bow, we can either have more damage from headshots, or we can reduce the focus depletion, where focus is how we slow down time. I think I like just doing more damage with a headshot, and just find that to be more useful. Focus lets you hit them more accurately, but the headshot makes you get more out of each individual arrow, which I just think is useful. We also have a level up for the ability power. This one, I think we're going to get the strike from above, which allows us to do a stealth kill when you're above someone. Frequently, you'll find that you're above someone and you want to do a stealth kill, and the other one is just kind of inconvenient not having this. I enjoy this. It's a nice quality of life perk. Then I can also unlock things with this extra health, or these 75 extra. I cannot increase focus, arrows, or health, but I can increase the number of runes that I have in my dagger, bow, and sword. What I did last time, and what was really useful, was I bought this extra sword rune, and then with that extra space, I put inside of this extra rune the ability to get an extra last stand. This is essentially the same as buying more health, but you'll find that things combo well with that. It's more useful, I think, than having extra health. And boom.
So you didn't die 10 years ago.
I take it you did not come here to arrest me for treason, Captain?
You and I are all that remains of that garrison, Hugo.
And why did you come here?
Looking for a slave that fought the Black Hand of Sauron.
More like ran away from him.
You know this man?
Of course. You're staring at him.
Where are the servants of the Dark Lord? Do you even know?
Perhaps.
This is no time to keep secrets.
I have been stuck here for weeks. Steady. Come to the outcast camp. We shall ask my scouts.
I'll be there.
System of the Orc.
No. Someone who wants to be seen. We should tread with caution.
Alright. It's been a while because we were doing upgrades. We got bonus XP for completing killing the slaver, and then we did the bonus objective, so we get 50 of the Mithran deal. Or whatever the stuff is called. The upgrade stuff. Maybe I should have waited on the upgrades before I spent it until I got the rewards from the mission. So, if we go out to the main... just getting my bearings a little bit. We go out to the main map. We have the other objective that was told us, the Spirit of Mordor. We have an interested party, which is we have attracted the attention of a mysterious creature, which is Gollum, and we can track down Gollum. And I thought the guy told us to go to his camp. And so I guess I was expecting a third option, which is to go to the guy's camp, and we said that we would be there, blah blah blah, but I do not see his camp anywhere, so I guess we're pretty close, or if not past the 45-minute part. I forgot to set a timer, but I think this is a good place to stop, and when we come back next time, we'll choose between whether we want to hunt down Golem, or whether we want to infiltrate or investigate the ranks of Sauron's army. But until next time,